Lindsay Gorin. I am a student in the Instructional Technology Department at Kennesaw State. I have created a web quest for my lesson plan assignment, and it's geared for 12th grade students who are in an economics class. And we're discussing the idea of, is your credit worthy or is it worthless? So we're going to be talking about factors that affect credit score, and we're going to talk about the definition of what a credit score is, and just give them an outlook on what they can think about for the future as they're graduating. And as soon as they graduate, they're going to get a letter in the mail saying, hey, we want you to get our credit card. And I want them to understand what it means to actually have a credit card. So I introduced the assignment by letting them look at a video that talks about a character named Robert. Robert just applied for a credit card. He's been using it. However, he doesn't understand it. So the idea is for the students to do some research and create a presentation explaining to Robert what he needs to know about credit cards. So when we navigate through the web quest, their task is to come in, and first they're going to define credit worthiness. So I have them click on that link. I've also given them a handout at the same time. I want them to fill it out as they go through. So their definition of credit worthiness goes here, and then I want them to find 5 factors that affect their credit score. So they can either watch the video if they're visual learners, or they can come down here and they can click on these resources and it will explain 5 factors that they can look at. The process, okay, there's 2 assignments. The first is I want them to go back to one of the resources I gave them, and it has different percentages included for factors that affect credit score, okay? With the percentages, I want them to create a pie chart using MetaChart. When you click on MetaChart, it allows you to make different charts, and they'll choose pie, put in the percentages for that, and that's going to be the very first part of their assignment. The second part of their assignment, they're going to come in and they're going to make a presentation. They can use Prezi, Voki, or PowerPoint. Students in my classroom use PowerPoint and Voki very often, so they should be familiar with that. However, if they need help with Prezi, I've included some tutorials down here to help them with that. And the requirements, they are to define credit worthiness, and go ahead and talk about the 5 factors that affect credit score. So they might not all be the same, but I want all of my students to list those factors. And they're also going to give me 3 resources cited in MLA format on a resources page, and 3 types of media in the presentation. So I want them to include videos, audios, pictures, whatever it may be. And I'd also want them to put their pie chart into their presentation. So that's going to be a part of it. Once they're done, they can just upload it here. They all have my email address, and it makes it easier than having to do the whole sign into your email, send it to me type of thing. Okay, so they're being evaluated 2 ways. The first way is they're going to be evaluated on their MetaChart pie graph. So 20%, this will be 20% of their total grade. Basically, if they do the pie chart right and they put in their percentages and they include it in their presentation, they'll get an A. Okay. The second rubric, so down here is for the presentation, 80% of their grade. Basically, if they have their 3 references, if they have their 3 media, their pictures, YouTube videos, if they've listed their 5 factors, if they've defined credit worthiness, and they've included their pie chart into their presentation, they're going to get a good grade. But I do have these rubrics here, and they can look at that and be able to see that. Okay. Conclusion, I did give a survey at the very end to see how they felt about it and if they thought that it was productive or if it wasn't productive. And I did want to go ahead and include that for differentiation purposes, I'm a special ed teacher. So I have a lot of kids that need read-to accommodations. On each page here, I've actually gone in and put an audio version of what the text is on the actual page. So if you click there, it's going to give you an audio version, and it's me reading everything on the page, and that might help. And for the presentation, the kids can work in groups. They can work on their own, whatever they prefer. If I have some kids that would rather use Voki, which I do, instead of typing out information and instead of presenting in that way with Word format, that's always an option for them as well. So that's my lesson, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed creating this, so I think that's all.